Alright, I am redoing my video. I do not know what happened. I really think there's a bug, but I'll try to get that fixed as soon as possible. Because when I checked back on the video that I was about to send, the voice was not there, even though I thought I recorded it with the voice, but it's okay. Let's just start over. So starting off with UCAD now. UCAD, some of you did vote on this, but I also wanted to give you UCAD because today we do have a high impact news on both USD and CAD pairs. So go ahead and go check forexfactory.com to check your timing, right? It will happen during the US session later in the evening. Now, for UCAD, we have our sell zone up here and our buy zone down here. All right, current price is still quite far away from both, but it might not move until later in the evening when the news is released. So as traders, if you're not comfortable with trading with the news, wait for these zones instead. Okay, so meaning after the news is released, either it will spike up or drop down. So if it spikes up and you can see a setup that it might respect, then you can sell down from here because it might be very fast due to the news. Or excuse me, if it drops down and you have a setup waiting over here, then potentially you can catch a buy back up. So either poke, drop from here, or poke, bounce from here. But either way, if H4 decides to close above or below these zones, then it will test a higher area or a lower area potentially. Okay, so that's for UCAD. Let me just screenshot that. Once again, I need to write for you to see. So either it spikes up, respects, and drops down potentially, or if it breaks above, then it might want to test a higher area. Or it drops down into our buy zone and respects that, then potentially we can catch a buy back up. Or if it breaks below, then it might want to test a lower area. Now, if you do not want to trade with the news, but you still want to trade USD CAD, then wait for H4 to close first. Then switch down to M5 or M15 for entries. Okay, wait for the setups to complete first before pressing anything for lower risk setups. Now we move on to GA. GA suddenly became popular today. All right, but let's see, because the sell zone of GA is quite high up. Right, quite high up, and the zone that I derived this from is way over here. Oops. All the way over here. All right, so it's an engulfing buy that failed. Right? It failed. Price came back, closed within, created an engulfing sell. So we have an EFEG sell for the sell zone up here, which is quite far away from where the current price is also at. Right? It took so long, excuse me, for the price to actually do this U-turn up into this price area. Okay, and our buy zone is an engulfing sell that failed. Price came back, created an engulfing buy. Right? Just so you know, in case you want to map GA, I was not able to get an M15 key level from this zone because M15, it maxed out the bars, it maxed out the candlesticks. So what I was able to get was by using M30 for these key levels instead. Okay, if you are using other devices that allows you to go even further and maybe get the M15 candles, then do that. All right, but for my iPad right now, I can only reach to M30 to get these key levels. Okay, so you can monitor these, or if you can find M15 that is around this M30 also would be amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the daily so it's easier for me to screenshot and draw this because the zone is quite far away, but that's okay. Right, so what we can do, okay, GA, let's just screenshot it from here. If it decides to climb up into our H4 and respects it, then potentially we can catch a sell back down. But if it breaks above, then it might want to test a higher zone. Vice versa. If it decides to drop down into our sell zone and respects it, then potentially we can catch a buy back up. But if it breaks below, meaning it closes below the box, then potentially it might want to test a lower area. Okay, after you've entered, count 40 pips from your entry. Okay, a lot of you are still not using SL, even though I've warned you so many times. If you are not willing to MC your account, whack your account, or lose your account, please set your SL accordingly. Okay? Because it's unfair for me also to hear you telling me that I am a bad mentor or that I'm not giving you good advices when I have been literally saying in every single analysis and every single video to place your SL. Okay? If you're not willing to lose your account, put your SL. If you're willing to lose your account, don't come crying to me saying that you lost your account, because you should only be trading with money that you are willing to lose. Okay, that's just trading, that's just business in general. Okay, last but not least, we have GU. Now GU, I've marked up to the daily sell zone also because I just wanted to see where it potentially might go, because H4 only has this zone, right? I've marked an engulfing sell that it left wicks through the key level. So this will be my sell zone area, my potential sell zone for GU. My buy zone is this engulfing sell that failed, and price did not touch this after failing. It did not touch the key level. Okay, so this is quite a fresh engulfing failed zone. If it fails over here, then I know I can wait down here, which is another buy zone. Engulfing sell failed, price came back, closed within, created an engulfing buy. But for now, I'm going to focus on these. And I know that this H4, since it's in a daily sell zone also, there is a higher chance that it could drop from here. Alright, but if it breaks above, then I know it might want to test a daily zone up here. So I'm not going to give you the daily key levels. This will be your assignment if you want to trade GU for today. So use the things that I've taught you. Same thing. If you're mapping H4 paired with M15, if daily, paired with H1, and see the key levels that you can get, because if it fails from here, then you know that the daily candle might want to test this area for the key level before dropping down. Okay, so that's for GU. Let's screenshot this. Current price, again, if it climbs up into our sell zone and respects it on H4, okay? Remember, if you are monitoring H4, focus on H4 zones. If you're monitoring on the daily zones, then focus on the daily candle. Okay? Do not mix the time frames because it will only make your life harder. Now, if H4 decides to break above, then it might want to test a higher area or a higher key level, which we know that the daily zone has. All right, so go do that. Now, vice versa, if it decides to drop down into our buy zone and respects it, then potentially we can catch a buy back up. But if it breaks below, we know we have a lower area, a lower zone that potentially might want to test. Okay, so that's it for the 3 pairs. Please trade smart, trade wisely. I will get to your messages. I still have a bunch to go through, as well as also help with the registering of the direction class by Mr. Cloud. Okay, so please be patient. Talk to you soon. Bye.